what's good, everyone? It's Sal, Stretford Post. How you're doing? And welcome to another episode of Breaking Dawn. I hope you're doing good. I hope you're doing fine. Thank you guys for joining me this morning, this lovely Monday morning. And why is it lovely? It's because Manchester United are playing. Of course it is, guys. Man United are playing. Finally. It feels like years, doesn't it? We haven't played a game since the West Ham game, and we have had to dwell about that game over and over again, replaying in our head over and over again. We don't want that anymore, guys. It's the new game. It's a new dawn. It's new life. It's a new everything, guys. Breaking Dawn. Absolutely, guys. Thank you, everyone who's joined me today, guys. Don't forget to smash a like on the video if you are just arriving, guys. Very important for the algorithm, because rhythm is a dancer. When it comes to YouTube, you have to have the algorithms going, guys. And also, guys, if you're new, don't forget to subscribe, guys. Please don't. That'd be absolutely fantastic, guys. And also, don't forget to put your notifications on, guys. Absolutely. Thank you, everyone, for joining me today, guys. Now, obviously, over the last few months, indeed a year, Manchester United have been dwelling, have been oohing and ahhing about what should our perfect midfield be? Who should Man United sign in that midfield? Who we're going to bring in to fix our midfield? I must have said the word, I think, midfield more than any other word in my entire life in under a year. I mean, midfield. I don't know how many times I've said it, but of course, Man United have been linked to loads of fantastic players, every one of which has their own special set of skills, as Liam Neeson once said, has their own set of skills, of course. But what I would say is that every player that we're being linked to would be an improvement to our current midfield situation. Of course, with Casemiro leaving the football club, Manchester United do need to revamp that midfield tenfold, given Ugarte has not performed at Manchester United. And I don't know why, but Ugarte is just not working out for him, you know, and it does look like Ugarte could be on his way as well, whether that be a loan or whether that be a permanent deal. Ugarte looks to be out of the club. Now, how many midfielders do Manchester United need? How many would we need? Now, ideally, obviously, we've got Mainu. Ideally, I would think 3 midfielders would suffice. 3 midfielders will be ideal for Man United going forward, because at the end of the day, when you're thinking about the Champions League, the Premier League, the League Cup, the FA Cup, all that jazz, Man United are going to need as many options as possible, because we're not going in the Champions League like Tottenham. We're going in the Champions League to compete. And that's what I said. I said it a long time ago. I don't want to go into the Champions League just to make up the numbers. Absolutely not. We want to go into the Champions League to compete, guys. That's what it's all about. We have to compete. And by buying 3 quality midfielders, it would help Manchester United immensely in regards to our quest, in regards to our goal. Now, who are these midfielders Man United have been linked with? Now, we all know Manchester United are heavily linked with Elliot Anderson, Angelo Stiller, and a new name off the block, Amadou Onana. Now, Amadou Onana, of course, I spoke about him a few weeks ago, and I actually think that Amadou Onana has been brushed under the carpet somewhat. I think that this guy has been one of the best performing midfielders in the Premier League, and I'm surprised no one is going after Amadou Onana. I mean, I think he's brilliant. I think he's brilliant, and I think he adds skill, he adds strength, he adds character in our midfield, and I think that'd be absolutely fantastic. Adding with Anderson and Angelo Stiller, you're looking at a title challenging midfield. It's that easy, isn't it? It's that easy. It's that simple, isn't it? It sounds simple anyway, but it is up to the board whether how ambitious they are and whether they want to move forward in regards to that league position and push us to that next level. Now, we are kind of comfortably going to be in the top 4 this season. I know, touch of death, kiss of death, touch wood. We are comfortably in the top 4, I think, this season. And I'm going to say that, guys, right? Now, I did say we're going to come second, we're going to come third. I still believe we're going to come third or second. I do believe that. I've said that all along. I think that that will be one of the big surprises of the Premier League this season, is Man United finishing so high up the league, which will be unexpected. But as I said, what is going to take Manchester United to the next level? Amadou Onana, of course, would help Man United immensely. Premier League experience, one of the main kingpins in regards to how well Aston Villa have done over the last couple of years. Now, look, Aston Villa, of course, may be in Europe. You know, they may be in the Champions League next season. I still believe that Aston Villa are going to be the sacrifice. I think they're the ones who are going to drop out of that top 4. I really do. And, you know, I do think one would drop out, which is going to be a surprise. And I think that will be Aston Villa. I do feel that Liverpool and Chelsea, as much as I don't want to say it, but I think they're going to creep into the top 4. I really do. The way that Aston Villa are playing, given their injury situation as well, is a bit of a problem. And I think that is, they don't have the squad like other clubs have. They don't have the money that other clubs have, of course. They've done remarkably well, I would say that. But obviously, the Amadou Onana deal to Manchester United does depend on Aston Villa, whether they qualify for the Champions League or don't qualify for the Champions League, of course. So if they don't qualify for the Champions League, it does look likely that Manchester United may make a move for Amadou Onana. Another thing, guys, in regards to teams that are not qualifying for Europe, in regards to Nottingham Forest, unless Nottingham Forest win the, what are they, in the Conference League or Europa League, unless they win that, they're not going to be in Europe next season. And obviously, as well as Tottenham Hotspur, they're definitely not going to be in Europe next season, of course. And, guys, they're not going to win the Champions League. That's for certain, guys. I'd be amazed. Imagine if Tottenham won the Champions League. I would just give up with European football altogether because I'll say, my goodness me, how poor must you be if Tottenham are bloody winning the Champions League? I mean, Tottenham qualifying for that top 8 is bad enough. I watched Tottenham yesterday, and Tottenham, my goodness me, they are like pillows, guys. Soft as ice, guys. Soft as the most Hungarian pillow you've ever seen, man. Hungarian Pillow FC. That's what they are. Absolutely. Duck Feather FC. That's what they are, guys. Absolutely. They should have a duck as their bloody logo, not a cockerel. They should have a duck as their logo. Absolutely useless yesterday. Embarrassing yesterday. Let's be honest with you guys. But I'm going to get into that game in a bit. But like in regards to Man United and acquiring any of their players, looking at Tottenham and saying, do I actually want any of their players? Are any of those players available that I want? You know, I'm looking at the moment, I think, not really. And Romero didn't play yesterday, did he? I think he was suspended. I like Romero. I think Romero's a good player. I think he adds a lot of solidarity to their team. I know he's a bit petulant. I know that he's risk of a red card, but I do like him. I like his personality. I also like Van der Ven. I think he's very good. I'm a big fan of Jed Spence. Didn't play well yesterday, of course. Bergvall as well is another one that I'm interested in as well. So we have to look at these teams as well that are not qualifying for Europe. A lot of these players are going to want to leave. And obviously, given the Tottenham board, the way the Tottenham board are, they're going to want to recoup some of that money that they're going to lose not qualifying for European football, of course. Nottingham Forest, however, they're in a different sort of bracket at the moment. Because when we're looking at Elliot Anderson will most likely be in the England squad come the World Cup. So when we're looking at Elliot Anderson, there's a lot of talk about his price dropping if they get relegated, his price going to drop, and that could well happen. But what also could happen is that Elliot Anderson goes to the World Cup, has a fantastic World Cup, has a brilliant World Cup, right? His price fluctuates ridiculously because he's had such a brilliant World Cup, and other teams are going to be interested in him. So this is why Nottingham Forest are going to wait a while before they make a decision about Elliot Anderson. And, you know, because obviously even if they get relegated, they know that they can get money for Elliot Anderson, but they're going to wait until the World Cup and see what goes on. And of course, obviously with Gibbs as well, and any one of their players. They've got some good players. Murillo, another one. They've got some good players at Nottingham Forest. And, you know, a lot of teams are going to be prowling over their players and trying to, you know, steal a lot of their players and stuff like that, which could be a possibility. Absolutely, guys. Yeah. But what I would say is that Murillo, Anderson, guys, definitely. Gibbs is I think he's a brilliant player. But yeah, Murillo and Anderson are the two players that are linked to Manchester United that Manchester United could be looking at, waiting and to see what happens and analysing and seeing what happens. Now, I don't think it's a good idea personally, because obviously I said about the World Cup, and you know, I actually believe that England are going to go deep into the World Cup competition, and I think that Elliot Anderson is going to be a big part of that. You know, he played well yesterday. Unfortunately, he's got players around him that are just not up to the scratch. You know, I actually felt that if Nottingham Forest really wanted that game yesterday, Nottingham Forest would have won that game. But the dream midfield for Man United, Angelo Stiller. Now, rumours are circulating around Europe that Angelo Stiller will leave his football club Stuttgart at the end of the season. Now, there are a number of clubs who are queuing up for Angelo Stiller's signature. The 24-year-old, of course, over the last year and a half has been absolutely phenomenal. Probably the standout player in Germany, this guy. Now, lots of comparisons to likes of Toni Kroos, etc., which is high praise indeed. I remember when Man United nearly signed Toni Kroos, and we didn't sign Toni Kroos. And we regretted not signing Toni Kroos, didn't we? We regretted it. And I don't want us to regret not signing Angelo Stiller, because I do believe Angelo Stiller is a phenomenal player. Now, there's no degree in regards to who Man United are linked with. It's pretty obvious, right? And that's why these names keep cropping up. There's a bracket of players in regards to coming to Man United, the players that are going to come to Man United. There's a bracket of players that look likely to be linked to Man United in the summer. You know them. You know, Elliot Anderson, Wharton, Stiller, Belabor. You know, these players there, Amadou Onana is another one now, guys. That's 5 players right there. So there's the bracket right there of players that are going to be linked to Manchester United in the summer. Will Man United get all of them? Absolutely not. I don't think they will. If they got 3 of those, I would be absolutely astonished. Now, obviously, the dream would be for me, Anderson, Stiller, and Amadou Onana. That would be my dream, right? With a Mainu there as well. That would be my dream. However, I am pretty certain, despite all the rumors, despite everything that's going on at the moment, that Carlos Baleba will be a Man United player next season. I think Carlos Baleba will be a Man United player next season. And that's because of a whole number of reasons. Number one, Carlos Baleba wants to play for Manchester United. He's desperate to play for Manchester United. Number two, he's going to be easy. He's going to be easy to get because no one else is going to be fighting tooth and nail for Carlos Baleba. There is the rumors about Chelsea and PSG, but I'll take that with a very big pinch of salt bay. I will do, because at the end of the day, they're trying to build up value on Carlos Baleba because his performances this season have been atrocious. But it'd be just like Man United to make that signing. Now, I don't mind us signing Carlos Baleba, just like I don't mind us signing Bawardi and young players that Seidel Marla, these type of players, these young players coming through. I don't mind Man United signing those type of players as long as Man United get the creme de la creme as well and get the Andersons and get the Whartons and get the Stillers and these type of players. Then I wouldn't mind signing the Bawardis and the Balebas and the Seidel Marlas and the Kones and these type of players. Do you know what I mean? These when you're looking at these type of players, these are type of players that are game changers for Man United. Guys, subject to popular belief, Man United are not that far away from where we want to be. We're not, guys. We are literally a midfield away from actually challenging for the league. I believe that. I know that we still got weaknesses in our full back areas. I know that. I know that we need backup striker, that we do. But if Man United fix that midfield, I actually believe that Man United are going to mount a serious title challenge next season. If Man United fix that midfield. Now, if we miraculously get the players that I've said, like Anderson and Stiller and Ahmed Onana, and if not Onana, Wharton, if not Wharton, Baleba, I actually think that Man United are going to have a big chance next season. And I think Man United will be very scary next season. And I think this is why a lot of teams and a lot of media outlets are getting a little bit twitchy. They're getting a little bit twitchy. They're getting a little bit nervous, fidgeting in their seats and getting a little bit sweaty palms and all that. Because they know that sooner or later, Manchester United will be back. And when Man United fix that midfield, the area of the pitch that we've been dying for the last 20-odd years, since we got Michael Carrick, right? That's the last time we had a decent bloody midfielder. Man United fix that midfield. Man United are going places. Let me tell you that right now. Man United are going places, right? We've flirted with the midfield. We've got the Schweinsteigers, right? We've got the Casemiros, right? Fair enough. But they're way past their best. They're past their best. They're a little bit old and they're not long-term, if you know what I mean. Absolutely, guys. But what I would say is this. Man United fix that midfield, maybe buy a fullback, right? Now, guys, lots of rumors are circulating about the fullback position. Alejandro Balde is the right back who plays for Barcelona. Lots of rumors circulating around him. Obviously, with the Rashford situation as well, there is obviously rumors about a swap deal between Alejandro Balde and Marcus Rashford. Now, these two, I would do it. I would do that deal with Marc Casado as well. I like Marc Casado as well. So I would do any deal for Marcus Rashford right now. Barcelona are looking to offload a couple of players. They don't want to spend the money that Man United are asking for Marcus Rashford. They actually want to reduce price. But I say this, for Man United to be smart, Man United need to be a little bit more shrewd and say, look, okay, you don't want to pay the money. Let's look at Alejandro Balde. What can we do with that? What can we do with Balde? What can we do with Marc Casado? This kind of thing, do you know what I mean? And this will be smart for Man United. This will be clever for Man United, in my opinion. Absolutely. Let me just say hello to this esteemed world-class community, guys. Unlike Tottenham, you're world-class, guys. Absolutely. Big up everyone in the morning show. Big up everyone. I hope you enjoyed my match preview, guys. Big up everyone. I'm going to start doing more pre-recorded material, guys. I'm not ending Chatterbox or Breaking Dawn. I'm going to do more material in regards to pre-recorded as well. And analysis and talking about players and everything like that, guys. So more content, basically. Absolutely. So I hope you guys can get involved, of course, in all the content that happens, of course, guys. But today, is a massive day because it is match day and Man United are playing Everton. We need to get one over on Everton, guys. They beat us at Old Trafford. We need to accept revenge, guys. We need to do that. Absolutely. Good morning, Benny, the legend of Benny. What's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, man. Really good to see you. Hope you had a fantastic weekend, my friend. Good to see you again. Sanjay, good morning. How you doing? I hope you're doing well, Sanj. Hope you're good. Good to see you. Good morning, the legend Ephraim. How you doing, my friend? Good to see you. Good morning, Shoes Daily. Good to see you. Good morning, Sal. Spurs lost. I mean, how many times have we said that in our life? How many times have you said Spurs lost in your life? Let me predict. 1,000 times, 2,000 times, 3,000 times. Tottenham would be Tottenham. Spurs would be Spursy. Potatoes will potate. That's it. I mean, at the end of the day. Absolutely. Guys, good. Hello, Freya. What's going on, my brother? What's going on? How you doing? Freya, what's going on? Long time, man. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, my bro. Good to see you. Blessings to you, my friend. Good to see you again. I missed you, brother. What's going on? I hope you're doing well. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Hope you're blessed. Richard, good morning. How you doing, man? Good morning. Tonight's game is all about winning. Absolutely, brother. Richard, it's all about winning. It's getting into that mentality, that vibe, winning the game and moving on. How we win the game, I don't care. Just win the game. That's all I care about, guys. And we move on to Crystal Palace at the weekend, which I feel is a much easier game, the Crystal Palace game. Even we beat Crystal Palace away this season, didn't we? So I feel that Crystal Palace is a game that we'll win. Now, if we beat Everton tonight and we beat Crystal Palace, all of a sudden, guys, we've got how many games? 6 wins in 7 games. That's not bad, is it? And 1 draw. You know, that's not bad. Big up Kenny, legend of Kenny. How you doing, my friend? 3 points is a must. Absolutely, 3 points is a must, my bro. This is what we got the vibes for. It's all about the vibes today, guys. Getting Everton down with Everton in the Dickinson Stadium. Absolutely. The first time Man United are going to be playing at the Dickinson Stadium in our history. Let's make it a good one, guys. Let's start the tenure at that Dickinson Stadium in a good way. Let's win the first game there. You know what I mean? And we go like, you know what? We played 1 game there. We won 1 game. It's our hunting ground. It's our dance floor too. Emirates is our first dance floor. No one's taking away Emirates. Emirates is a vibe. Emirates Stadium is a vibe. Emirates Stadium is the dance hall. Emirates Stadium is the Saturday night fever of football. Honest to God. That is the Emirates Stadium, guys. Absolutely. I'm just waiting for John Travolta to come out of nowhere, guys. That is the Emirates Stadium. But we need to make the Dickinson Stadium the second dance floor. So the place that we go to when that one's crowded. You know what I mean? So we need to win that one. Absolutely. That's what it's all about tonight, guys. It's all about those kind of vibes. Of course, Kenny, I generally hate Gabriel, for goodness me. This guy needs an Olympic diving contest. They are cheaters. Arsenal, look, you know what? I find it funny that the scary Arsenal merchants, Arsenal's so scary. Just come out the closet, for fuck's sake. You're an Arsenal fan. You know what I mean? All these people coming out like, Arsenal's so scary. Way. You know what I mean? Oh, my goodness me. Arsenal. Been quiet this last few weeks. Haven't spoken nothing about Arsenal this last few weeks. Then suddenly, look at Arsenal. Everyone's on their knees begging that Arsenal is so good. Oh my God. Arsenal is so good. Oh my God. Oh, right. Like, listen, guys, look, you know what? They would be the worst champions in history if they did win the league, guys. Absolutely, they would, right? So let me just show you this, guys, because I am tired of it. Guys. Let me just bring this into it. This, guys, I'm going to bring this into it. Let me just scroll up a little bit. This, guys, cheating. If there was such a word as cheating, this is cheating, guys. This is it. Look at it. 1 little tap on his bloody back, and it is a dive. The Olympic champion gold medalist, Gabriel. Everything is fake about Gabriel, from his hairline to his teeth. Everything is fake until he's bloody diving. That moment there, I know a lot of people will say, won't talk about it, but that moment there changed the game completely. No, I'm not saying that Arsenal didn't deserve to win, because I actually felt that Tottenham were absolutely awful in this game. Tottenham were absolutely dreadful in this game. Now, I'm not saying that Arsenal didn't deserve to win, but every single part of a football game can make a difference in the long-term conclusion of a game. Now, if that went to 2-2, the confidence in the London Stadium, not the London Stadium, the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, the confidence in the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, the confidence within the players would have risen tenfold. I know there's no excuse for Tottenham Hotspur capitulating like they did. It's not. But we need to eradicate these sort of things off the game. We do. We need to get rid of these cheaters out of the game. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. And then people act like Arsenal are so hard done by. They've had the most result. We've had the most controversial VR decisions against us in the whole league, Man United. It's a fact. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. So, yeah, look, you know, very, very disappointed with Gabriel again, but nothing there, guys. Nothing but no surprise for me. Absolutely. Absolutely. Where were we? Big up Coco, what's going on, my friend? Good to see you again, my guy. I hope you're doing blessed, my friend. Big up Mandem, how you doing, my friend? I hope you're doing blessed. SA clearly hasn't forgiven Spurs for trying to sign him, absolutely. Oh, they missed him, didn't they? He probably would have got the Spursy disease if he went there anyway. Hello, Sal. Tottenham are crap, bro. Tottenham are useless. They're an embarrassment. Now, I spoke about it yesterday, about my older brother. My older brother supports Tottenham. He supported Tottenham for about 40 years. You know what I mean? He supported Tottenham for about 40 years. And to be honest with you, in regards to my brother, I feel sorry for him. I do. I feel so sorry for him because he was young when he supported Tottenham. You know, and it's just like Expressions oozing and all these people. They support Tottenham, but they didn't choose to support Tottenham. They supported Tottenham because they were manipulated into supporting Tottenham. Whoever told these guys to support Tottenham have been manipulated. They've been manipulated. Thank God I was my own guy. Thank God I was in my own world when I was a kid. I was in my own world. I was in my own little bubble. Thank God for that. You know what I mean? That, you know what? No one said, oh, Sal, Tottenham? Have a Tottenham card. Have a Tottenham card. Absolutely not. No chance at all, guys. Absolutely nightmare. Absolutely. Revert 7, good morning. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. I like Romano too. Liked him at Atalanta. A bit reckless but aggressive defender. A lot of Tottenham fans see him as a liability, though. And I have to agree. He's a liability, but it depends who you're playing for. I actually think that we can nurture him a little bit. I think that the fact that he's playing for Tottenham, I think is the reason why he gets in all these problems. I think that if he's run by a proper manager, a proper system, you don't see him doing it at Argentina. You don't see him doing it. It's because he's run by a proper system. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I think that he would be brilliant for Man United. I really do. However, I would say that Man United's defensive options look pretty tasty at the moment. I think we're okay in the defensive third at the moment. I would say that I don't think we need to buy any more defenders right now. I would say that, of course. Good morning, my friend Revert 7. All day long. All day long, Revert 7. Good to see you. Benny, Anderson is going to be huge for England in the summer. Been in war incoming for Anderson. This is exactly why, Benny. I said during the winter transfer window, I said Man United need to get the groundwork done for Anderson quickly. They need to get the groundwork done. Because I guarantee you, guys, I'm not even putting it past. Remember these words, guys. I'm doing a watch-along for the World Cup, guys. God help me. I'm going to be getting no sleep, right? I'm doing a watch-along for the World Cup, guys. But just remember these quotes from Uncle Sal, right? Anderson will be one of the players of the tournament. He'll probably be in the team of the tournament. He probably will be in the team of the tournament, in my opinion. I think Anderson will be in it. Absolutely. Amada Onana will be a fantastic signing. Absolutely. I agree. Revert 7. Finally, United play today. It's been too long, brother. It's been too long, Revert 7. Why do Man United keep playing last? Everyone has to go to college, school, work, before we play. It's ridiculous, guys. It is ridiculous. But today is a very important day because we had a mini adversity against West Ham. And we've had to dwell and sort of reminisce about that game over and over again in our head, right? Today, it's a chance to show everyone that we can bounce back, right? We can bounce back and we can beat Everton. Now, there's rumors circulating that Michael Carrick has put the players in a less training regime. So basically, they're training less and they can come in later, arriving at the ground for games. So what do you make of that? Now, this obviously gives me a little bit of PTSD in regards to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. So, look, I'm not going to take that with every single gospel there is. I'm not going to get bloody Whoopi Goldberg out and start singing me a choir. At the end of the day, I've heard that. I've heard that Michael Carrick is a lot softer on the players. This is not a good thing. Let me tell you that. Not with these players, because that's what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer did. So, obviously, we have to be very, very cautious with this. We have to be very, very cautious how we get overly giddy. This is why I'm taking every single thing with a game at a time. A game at a time. Because what Ruben Amorim did, right? And Dallo said it as well. Dallo said it last week on the interview. What Ruben Amorim did, He tried to implement a culture. He tried to change the laid back, easy, come in when you like, one of the mates, hey, sort of thing, mentality at Man United. He tried to change that. Yes, it wasn't working on the pitch, even though we were third from fourth. Yes, it wasn't working on the pitch, but he's trying to change that. He was trying to change this type of culture. Now, if Michael Carrick comes into this football club and says, don't worry, come in when you like, come in when we like, we're not going to train too hard today. We're going to take it easy, Brev. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, that's not good for Manchester United. And obviously, I'm going to analyze everything. I am a pundit, Stretford Post pundit, and I'm going to analyze everything from the way that I see that can harm Man United. You know, Man United have always been missing an element of discipline. And I think over the last couple of years, this is what we're trying to implement, discipline. Of course, players are going to play for you. They're going to play for you if you're letting them come in home late. You come in late for training. Take it easy in training. Don't work too hard in training. Of course, they're going to be your best mate. But that doesn't bring long-term success. That doesn't bring long-term success. That actually has the opposite effect. So I'm going to analyze everything properly. And I'm going to see, let's wait and see, right? Because at the end of the day, this season is sort of like a free hit. It's sort of like, okay, Man United getting the Champions League. Congratulations. But next season is obviously when we're going to separate the wood from the trees, is when we're going to really evaluate where Man United are. You know, this is why I think Man United will smash it this season. I think Man United comes second or third this season. I've said it for a long time now. Man United will come second or third this season because I actually believe that these players are going to play to tooth and nail for Michael Carrick. But the problem is, right, is when it gets a little bit treacherous, when it's a rainy day, how are these players going to react? You know, when you get into those moments in games where it's difficult. Now, guys, I'm going to look at things objectively. West Ham, we were lucky. Fulham, we were lucky. Arsenal, some may say we were lucky because they gave away the ball and we scored 2 worldies. I actually think we played all right against Arsenal. Man City, we played well. But Fulham in particular and West Ham, we were lucky. That could have easily been a draw against Fulham and that could easily been a loss against West Ham. Or it took Wilson to cross it. So obviously, I'm looking at that. Now, tonight is a difficult game. It's a difficult game against Everton. We know Everton, Ndiaye, you know, these players. No Grealish today, but they've got some good players. They've got some good players. So we have to be prepared. That trio would be unbelievable signing. I agree, sir. Absolutely. Kevin Donovan, hope you're doing well, my friend. Big up Ephraim. Andrew Steele can be a great in the Premier League. Carlos Baleba, we should walk out or not deal a starter. Yeah, not even starting for Brighton now, Kevin. He's really, really gone down in the estimation, you know, in regards to Brighton. And, you know, this obviously, look, he's a young lad. He's a young lad. I know he's a young lad. And obviously, it's not easy when you're young. And, you know, some people don't have the same mentality. You know, maybe it's affected him. Maybe it has. But Man United need mentality monsters at the moment. That's what Man United need. Man United need players at the moment that, you know what, are not fazed by anything. Don't let anything get to them. That's the sort of players that Man United need. You know, Baleba seems the sort of player, is a bit emotional. And obviously, he knew Man United were after him. And if he really wanted to go to Manchester United during the summer, what he should have done, if he really wanted to go to Man United during the summer, Baleba, he should have said it. He should have screamed it to the rooftop. I want to go to Manchester United. And Bremo did it eventually. But Baleba should have done it. Baleba should have screamed to the rooftop, I want to go to Manchester United. That's what Baleba should have done. And maybe they would have pushed through a deal. Who knows? You know, but whilst you're being quiet and just accepting what you're given, Brighton are going to say, well, we don't really want to sell him, you know, and we want this much money, 100 million and stuff like that. Now, it does get into the realms of, are Brighton sort of pricing Baleba out of the market? I actually think they are. I think 100 million is a ridiculous price tag to put on Baleba. I think it's added more pressure to Baleba as well. I do believe that. I think Baleba now is worth 40 million at the most, right? And that's euros, right? At the most, because you've got to look at it from a point of view of a business level, right? Man United have not got 500 million to spend. Man United can't go out there and just splash 70 million on Baleba and hope it works, fingers crossed. Buy Baleba, inshallah. You know what I mean? They can't do that. They have to ensure that he's playing well for his club as well, you know, because this quite easily could be a one-season wonder. This could be an Evan Ferguson. This is what it could be. Do you know what I mean? And we have to obviously look at that objectively. Revert 7. I don't watch La Liga, so I don't bother. I usually watch Serie A and the Premier League. What leagues do you watch, Sal? Every league, Revert 7. I'm lucky enough to live in the UAE where they show every game. Even the Turkish league, I watch it sometimes. Absolutely. I do watch Galatasaray a lot. I watch Fenerbahce. I watch the Bundesliga a lot. I think the Bundesliga is really up and coming as well. I watch a lot of football. I do. I watch Serie A. Whatever is on, I would watch it. If I could do a watch along for it, I would do a watch along for every single game, but it will affect my algorithms because I have too many games on there, for goodness me. But what I would say is that, yeah, I watch every game, every league as much as I can. If not, I do watch highlights. I do watch highlight shows. I look at games. I analyze games and stuff like that. And recently, I've been watching Brighton, of course. I've been watching Brighton and I've been analyzing Carlos Baleba and I've been analyzing him, objectively. And I've been trying to like what I see. I've been actually going on there with a positive eye. I've been looking at Baleba and thinking, yeah, Baleba's going to play well for me today. And then he's not bloody playing. He's not bloody playing. I'm like, for goodness sake. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. Big up Revert 7, legend. Big up the homie. LT, big up yourself. How you doing, brother? Hope you're doing well. Big up, brother. We need to take advantage of the weekend results by winning because it stands. It looks like us and Liverpool are getting top four because Chelsea and Villa are busy dropping points. You know what, LT? It's so important. And, I don't only want to get in the Champions League. I want to finish ahead of Liverpool. I want to finish ahead of Liverpool. We need to finish ahead of Liverpool, guys. I'm telling you. After Liverpool spent 500 million to $1 billion on players on an already championship team, we need to finish ahead of Liverpool. It would be hilarious if Man United finish ahead of Liverpool. It would be. Won't hear the likes of it. Gabriel Swan dive, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely disgraceful. Big up SCB. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're blessed. Now decisions have been a little better with RefCam. Shoes Daily, that was a ridiculous decision to disallow the Tottenham goal to make it 2-2 yesterday. I would say that anyway. He put his hand on his back, granted, but he didn't push him. He dived. And I think they need to look at that. They need to, you know what they need to do? In cricket, they got them things where if the ball hits the stump, a little bit of a sound thing comes on like that, right? In regards to the VAR of cricket. This is what the Premier League need to have. The Premier League needs to have a power thing. So basically, how hard did he touch him on the back? You know what I mean? How hard did he touch him on the back? And they need to do something like that because at the end of the day, not every touch is a foul. And people need to differentiate between a dive and a normal thing because that was a dive if I ever saw one. There should be retrospective action against him for doing that. And that could have potentially changed the game. Absolutely. Bigger SCB. Revert 7. I'm not pissed we lost a cup final to them last year. I'm still pissed. I'm still pissed as well, mate. But I think that Tottenham were a little bit better under Postecoglou. I actually believe that. That's hard to believe, but I actually believe that. Now, the whole context around the final last year was a whole load of things going on. And Man United down-tooled for the rest of the season so they can concentrate on the Europa League final, which was a mistake as well. And obviously, at that time, Bruno Fernandes was dillying and dallying about a move to Saudi Arabia. There was a lot of toxic players in the team, obviously Garnacho and stuff like that as well. There was a lot of nonsense going on. It was an awful performance. It really was. And to be honest with you, the sooner we forget about that, the better. We got to put a right to that because that is a blotch on the history of Manchester United. Absolutely. Tottenham had their time in the sun when Poch was there with Son and Kane. You know what? The thing is, you never know what you have till it's gone, isn't it? And that's something that I see in football. You never know what you got till it's gone. And Tottenham had some good players, very good players. I was thinking this actually, Suze Daily, yesterday. I was looking at Tottenham yesterday, watching the game. And I was thinking, who's the player in their team as good as Son? Who's as good as Son in their team? There's nobody there. I swear to you, Tottenham had a better team than that. And I'm looking at it and thinking, wow, they've got a poor team. They've got a poor team. They've definitely got a poor team. I was looking at it and thinking, bloody hell. I was looking at everything, every single player to a man. I was thinking, they're rubbish. I can't see them coming back. I mean, at the moment, let me say this, guys. At the moment, I would class Tottenham as the worst team in the league. I think right now, as we stand, Tottenham are the worst team in the league. Look at Wolverhampton Wanderers against Arsenal. Look at Wolverhampton Wanderers against Arsenal. What Wolves, the bottom team, did against Arsenal. They should have beat Arsenal. They pegged Arsenal back. They pushed Arsenal. They pressed Arsenal. You know, absolutely. I wonder what Terry had to say about Gabriel's dive, because he had a lot to say about the Newcastle offside when Burn was. I don't know, mate. One thing I like to analyze. I'm not a clickbait merchant, and I like Terry a lot, but I'm not saying much about it. To be honest with you, but yeah, he has a very, 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 very squishy, lovely, soft spot for Arsenal, and I wouldn't accuse him of anything. At the end of the day, he's a homie. He lives around the corner from me, guys. Got a lot of respect for him, and he has a soft spot for Arsenal. It's pretty evident, you know, and fair play to him if he likes Arsenal that much. I mean, me as a Man United fan, I respect Arsenal. Yeah. I remember the rivalry, and as I said over the last few days, that, you know what, I would rather Arsenal win the league, because I don't want Man City to win the league, because Man City are proper rivals, and basically the way they've got success, I'm not respected of that. Arsenal, Man United, we elevated each other, didn't we? We elevated each other during the late 90s, especially, guys. And I would thank Arsenal for the treble, actually, because at the end of the day, if they didn't raise the bar during that time, like we raised the bar, they raised the bar, we raised the bar, we probably might not have won the treble if we didn't have that competitive edge, if you know what I mean. Now, look, at the end of the day, I know that Terry, you know, he likes Arsenal. I wouldn't say he's an Arsenal fan. No, I know he's a Man United fan. Of course he is. Some things I agree with, but he has a soft spot for Arsenal. I don't know, right? Now, look, let me give you an example, right? My younger brother supports Liverpool. Now, I despise Liverpool, right? My mum supports Wimbledon. My dad supports Huddersfield, right? My older brother supports Spurs. Do I have a soft spot for them because they're my brother, my mother, my dad? No. You know, even though I feel sorry for Tottenham, I don't have a soft spot for them. You know, and you know, you can put that to all reasons. Look, at the end of the day, look, you know, if it works for him, if it gets him likes and clicks and rage bait and stuff like that, congratulations, brother. And that's about it at the moment. You know what I mean? But, you know, he might be doing it for rage bait. He might be doing it because he gets clicks and likes, and that's the way it is. And fair play to the bro. You know, and that's what we have to say, you know. I can't take it upon myself. I found it hard this last 2 weeks, guys, talking about Arsenal and saying I prefer Arsenal to win the league. Guys, I felt like I put my head in a washing machine. I went all dizzy. I had flustered and everything when I said that. I don't want anyone to win a league. I don't want Arsenal to win a league. I don't want Man City to win a league. I don't want Liverpool to win a league. I don't want Chelsea to win a league. I want fucking Man United to win a league. That's what I want, because I'm tired of having preferences and stuff like that. But one thing I would say, and this is a fact, and this is coming from my opinion as a guy who's been to hundreds of games at Old Trafford, had a season ticket at Old Trafford, been around the world watching Manchester United, and I can prove it as well, right? No Man United fan I've ever known from London loves Arsenal that much. Even if Arsenal are right, even if Arsenal are 100% valid in their points, people would say, okay, yeah, you know what, they got a point there, that's it. But it's the end of it. Not make video compilations of fellow Man United supporters upset about Arsenal. You know, that's just my opinion about that. And guys, I can walk at Old Trafford now. I'll give you a video and everyone knows who I am at Old Trafford. I will walk there. Guys, listen, you know, we have to have respect for other teams, but we also have to have respect for the teams that we support, you know, because I do see correlation. I wasn't born yesterday, man. You know what I mean? I wasn't born yesterday. You know me. I've been on YouTube since 2005 when YouTube opened, doing music and stuff like that, music videos and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Been doing it a long time. You know, so I understand clickbaits from way back when. You know what I mean? And stuff like that and everything like that, guys. I'm not off the cover. I'm not one of those guys who've been here for 5-10 years. I've been here 20 years, guys. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. But, yeah, make of that what you will. Sal, it's a big violation for Desman. What's Desman, my friend? What's Desman? Let me know. I remember saying to you 3 months ago back, we need to get the groundwork done. You did say that, Benny, and so did I, of course. Shoes Daily. One once Ole's culture was the same. At the beginning, players played well with the easygoing lifestyle, and then the rot started. Bomb squads were created. So that's the Warrior character as well. I agree with Shoes Daily, absolutely. And this is something that we have to observe critically. We do, because at the end of the day, we would be stupid not to take that into account. We would be stupid not to look at that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer period and say, do you know what? We have to look at that. We have to look at that, absolutely. And we have to analyze it properly, because it took one defeat, you know what I mean, for Man United to drop. Nix, what's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. If Carrick has the approach as interim, then what happens if he gets the full time? He can't have the same approach, because if we foul. Nix, exactly that. And these are questions, Nix, right? These are questions that need to be asked. These are valid questions that need to be asked, guys. You know, we have to ask these questions. If Man United don't win tonight, right, we drew against West Ham, all of a sudden we're looking at 2 games without a win. You know what I mean? So, look, I would like to think that Michael Carrick's the savior. I would like to think Michael Carrick's the messiah. I would like to think Michael Carrick's the new Alex Ferguson. I would love that. It means success for Man United. But obviously, there is no way on God's green earth that he's coming to Man United and suddenly these players have been tactically revolutionized, because they haven't. They just decided to switch it on. And this is one thing I want to be proven wrong about. I want to be proven wrong about. I want to get to the end of the season. Okay. We qualify for the Champions League. Fantastic. We qualify for the Champions League. Now, what happens next season? You know? Exactly. Thank you so much, Viz, you legend. Thank you very much, my friend. Thank you. Get the likes up, guys. 50 likes bare minimum today, guys. Come on, guys. Let's smash those likes, guys. Thank you very much. Shoes Daily, the change with United will be when we beat mid-table, low block, decent teams. Exactly, because we were always a big club killing team, even when we were crappy. Exactly. The real evaluation is when we win against the number 7. Look, the only low block team that we played in the last, I'll say 2-3 weeks is West Ham. I don't think Fulham were a low block team, which is why we scored 3 goals. I don't think Fulham are a low block team, but West Ham were. And how many shots did we have against West Ham? 1 shot after 80 minutes. 1 shot, Sesko, after 80 minutes. You know, so guys, come on. You can have a look. We've struggled against low block teams for a very long time now. We have to look at that, and some red flags have to be raised. Now, will Everton play a low block? Probably a mid-block kind of play. Everton will play today. I think Everton will be more open than West Ham. I like to think so. But there's no excuses tonight, guys. West Ham was a poor performance. Let's not sugarcoat it, guys. We are not Willy Wonka here. This is not the chocolate factory, guys. We need to perform tonight against Everton. We need to win against Everton. We had a poor performance against West Ham. It was poor. But okay, I'll take that performance. Okay, we had 1 bad performance. All right, we got that there, a draw. Fair play. But tonight is all about winning that game. There's no excuses, man. There's no excuses. Jack Grealish is not playing for Everton tonight. He's one of their better players. Of course, they got Ndiaye, but we got our own players, guys. Worry about ourselves. You know what I mean? We've got our own players. And looking at Everton's home record at the moment, Everton's home record is absolutely diabolical. Their home record is atrocious, guys. It really is. Revat 7, there's too many subscriptions in the UK. You need one to watch La Liga games alongside Sky. Revat 7, I haven't been in the UK for 4 years. I've been in Abu Dhabi, as you know. I've been in Abu Dhabi. I know that when I was in the UK, we used to have BT Sports, Sky Sports, and there was also talk about Amazon with some games and stuff like that. Now, obviously, they had TNT. I do know that, and they got Sky. And I was paying up to, for Sky, a package, £100 for the whole package altogether. That's with obviously the Champions League games, the Premier League games. The La Liga used to be on Sky. So did the Bundesliga, you know. And so I used to pay £100. I pay $20. I should be quiet because I don't want to let anyone know over here for Todd, right? In the UAE for every single game, 3 o'clock kickoffs, anywhere in the world. Anywhere in the world. This morning, I was sitting there watching Arab games, Saudi Arabian games. I was sitting there watching that. I was doing that. I was watching that. You know, I was looking at different matches. You know, I was looking at different matches in different leagues, the French league, the Italian league. I was looking at all the highlights from the thing. And this is what's great about here, you know. Morning, Marcus. How you doing, brother? I hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Guys. I would be a little hopeful if Baleba was coming into a great manager like Luis Enrique or Tuchel. I don't think a Carricky would turn. I mean, nobody should be turning players into good players. Good players should be turning themselves into good players. That's it. Nobody should be saying Luis Enrique will make him a good player. No, you make yourself a good player. You're a £70 million player, right? You play like a £70 million player. Great players show themselves. Great players exert themselves in whatever team they're in. Let me remind you about Bulgaria, Hristo Stoichkov, Romania, Georgi Hagi. These type of players are playing in poor sides, but exert themselves and shine. Great players will always shine, no matter what team they're in. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. And great. If you're going to come to Man United, you've got to show a lot more on your own. On your own. It's a ball, it's a football, it's a pitch. Play. You know, and that's what it is. Yeah. Luis Enrique and managers like that will get the tactical side of things better. You know, might be more influential and stuff like that. But you've got to show something for yourself. Right now, it would be absolute suicide for Man United to spend 60 million on Carlos Baleba. Right now. Shoes Daily. One of the best decisions the board, the manager took was getting rid of Garnacho for Chelsea. He's not played 3 games in a row. Well, I think what has happened with Garnacho, he's had a big reality check. He's been humbled, and that's life. Sometimes, you know, football slaps you on the face with a big wet salmon. You know, now the thing about Garnacho, he had a huge dose of lack of self-awareness. And I think that was his problem. He didn't have self-awareness, you know. And now I think, at least I hope, I don't really care, to be honest now, but, you know, at least I hope he's starting to look at himself in the mirror and say, well, I was the problem. You know, I was the problem. It was me the problem, you know. Samuel, Manchester City should be relegated to the National League. I would love that, Samuel. Never happened, though. Remember what Sir Alex Ferguson came to United off the cuff, winning a European title with Aberdeen, yeah, and did well with St Mirren as well. He stopped the monopoly of the Celtic and Rangers domination. He won a European trophy with Aberdeen against Real Madrid. He won the Scottish League with Aberdeen. The guy was a genius. The guy was some kind of oracle from space. I don't know, but everything that Sir Alex Ferguson touched almost turned into gold, guys. It really did. It turned into gold. Alex Ferguson was an absolute genius. I'm telling you right now, guys. He was an absolute genius, you know. He was an absolute genius. LT, what's with Nathan Salt and his Carrick ass kissing articles trying to make Amram look bad when players are having interviews about Amram and prove them in the dressing room? Because what it is, Nathan Salt's a prat. Number one, he's a prat. He's an idiot. He don't like Man United. He don't love Man United. He has nothing but the worst interests for Man United. And these are clowns in the media that you just have to ignore. Because at the end of the day, you know, if people are still going on about Ruben Amram got rid of the toxic environment at Manchester United, paved the way for Michael Carrick, so to speak. Yes, things didn't quite work out on the pitch as much as we would like. But in regards to off the pitch, he done a lot of work. And we are feeling the fruits of that labor now, right? If people don't want to watch that, or don't want to see that, they have an agenda, and we all know who they are. They all have agendas at the end of the day, you know, and they had their opinion about Ruben Amram. And guys, this thing here is ridiculous. It shows how low a ball of IQ some people have. They have not seen this sort of story before. They have not seen this before. Coming in late for training, coming late for games. They've not seen this story before. Have they not seen this unravel before? It's like they're not paying attention. You know what I mean? It's like they're not paying attention. Now, I hope that Carrick becomes the Messiah, like I said. I hope that he becomes the new Alex Ferguson, like I said. But I'm definitely not going to be jumping to the rooftops every single game. Let's wait and see. Let's wait and see. When adversity strikes with these bunch of players, some of them have been there since 2013-14. You know, so let's be realistic here. Do you know what I'm saying? You know, absolutely. Big up LT. Big up Bobby, my guy. Big up Sound Chat. Big up my guy. Matthias Delict, the bat for the Everton. Mason Mount, no, not bat yet, mate. Not bat. Give it another couple of weeks, maybe. Thank you so much, Ephraim. Guys, let's not forget to smash a like on the video, guys. We've got 75 in the house, guys. Smash a like for Manchester United. If it's not for me, do it for Manchester United. Do it for the win tonight, guys. Man United defeating Everton tonight. That's what it's all about, guys. Smash those likes. We need the win tonight, guys. We need to keep the pressure on. We need to keep the vibes on. There's so many people who want Man United to lose. There are people there, guys, sitting on their platforms thinking, damn, if Man United are back, I'm screwed, you know. I'm screwed, you know. I'm screwed, you know. You know what I mean? Guys, listen. Guys, listen. You know what I mean? I got a song, right? I've got a song, right? I'm going to play it. I'm going to play it. I'm going to play it. Should I play it? I shouldn't play it. But I was in the music industry, right? And there's an intro. Let me play it like I'm going to play it next show. I'm going to play it next show. There's an intro, and it reminds me of this situation here where people are getting scared of Man United, you know, resurgence and coming back. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, that's what it is, you know. LT, Amron got it right with the bomb squad, but and still to get rid of more players this summer, because for me that was not the whole bomb squad. But I'm worried we won't remove enough. I mean, I'm really scared, LT. I'll be honest with you, LT. I'm petrified of Marcus Rashford coming back. Oh, Rashi, you're back. Give me some hugs, mate. Give me a yeah, brother. You're gonna get another chance, man. You know what I mean? And then obviously, oh, Rashi, he's got a new lease of life. I love the training under Carrick. I love it. And la. All this nonsense. Do you know what I mean? You know what it's going to be, guys. You know what it's going to be. Honestly, you know what it's going to be. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely, guys. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry about that. I had a little bit of technical difficulties there. Sorry, guys. Robert, good morning. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, mate. If Amron got the full backing of the board, he would have been successful. I agree, Robert, here. I'm glad there's some people who see this. I'm glad there's some people out there who are actually seeing this and actually seeing it for what it is. I really am happy about that. I am happy about that. Guys, congratulations. You guys are woke. You guys are woke. Absolutely. I'm very, very cautious about everything, you know, now. I'm not going to go straight back in anyone now. I'm going to judge everyone, you know, the way that they should be judged, the way that Ruben Amorim was judged and things like that. Do you know what I mean? Good morning, Garrett. How you doing, brother? I hope you're doing well. Good to see you, man. Hope you're doing blessed. Absolutely good to see you, brother. Hope everything is good with you, my friend. Good to see you. Look, I'm going to be like analyzing things properly, guys. I'm going to be analyzing things properly. I'm not going to be diving in and backing everything that anyone says. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, you know, and I would say that you know what I would say? It's basically, let's see what happens, guys, because there's a long way to go, you know, and we got 12 games to go. If we get into the Champions League, for me, that's one achievement. One achievement. Now, what I want to see, I want to see Manchester United. I want to see Manchester United going on the next season and carrying it on. You know, because once Michael Carrick signs that contract, I don't want these players thinking, we're done. We've done it, guys. We've got there. It's done. I don't want that happening. I don't want that happening. And I know that could possibly happen. I know that could possibly happen. You know what I mean? And I don't want that to happen. Absolutely not. I want us to carry on this vibe. This is not a temporary thing for me, guys. This is a thing that should be carrying on to next season. You know, Shoes Daily, the Champions League money would go a long way, and dream will be Liverpool not qualifying for the Champions League. Absolutely, simply because during these last few windows, they have been raiding our targets. They have, yeah, absolutely. Frimpong is one of them. Absolutely. Kirkes was one of them as well. Yeah, I agree with that. Absolutely spot on, Shoes Daily. We need Liverpool not to qualify for the Champions League. We do. We need them at the Champions League. It's going to affect Liverpool a lot. If Liverpool don't qualify for the Champions League, it's going to affect them a lot, guys. Trust me. No wonder the performance was lackluster against West Ham, because the training isn't intense enough, because they couldn't perform when playing 2 games in a week because they didn't train hard enough. I know, LT. People don't want to look at this. They don't. They're like they got the they got the windshield. I'm not looking. That's what they're doing at the moment. I look at that West Ham game and I was absolutely fuming. People were telling me, Sal, gaslighting me to saying, Sal, you got to be happy. Like, West Ham are good. Well, you can't win every game. Guys, these guys who've never been to one bloody game at Old Trafford in their goddamn lives. They've never been to Old Trafford, never stepped foot in Manchester talking like that to me. You know what I mean? Do these guys know what you need to be successful? You got to be ruthless. You got to be harsh. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. And that's what I'm doing. And I was harsh and ruthless after the West Ham game. I'm calm now. I'm calm. But let's see what happens against West Ham. Now, against Everton. Let's see what happens against Everton. We need to beat Everton. There's no excuses. Everton need to be put to the sword. Because I've got chest about beating Everton. I've got chest about beating Everton. You know what I mean? I'm good. Thanks, Sal. It feels like Kobe Mainoo is one of the players that is power in the club. Probably. I think there's a few. I think Shaw is one as well. I think there's a few players in the squad that have a mouth who are influential. Definitely, Garrett. Absolutely. Definitely. I think there are. Is it true? No. Nothing at the moment. Nothing solid at the moment. If we did speak to Luis Enrique, obviously the biggest problem is going to be, I'm going to pick the team. I'm the manager. I pick the team. That's where we're going to have a problem. That's where Jason Wilcox is going to say, oh, well, no, you're not really going to be the manager. You're going to be the coach. I don't think Luis Enrique is going to take that, guys. Absolutely not. Luis Enrique is not going to take being the coach. Absolutely not. No chance in hell. Absolutely not. Not under my watch. 1 second, guys. Yeah, I can't see that happening. I honestly think Luis Enrique going, no. Because Luis Enrique is going to have to pick up jobs, guys. Luis Enrique is going to have to pick up the bunch. I mean, there are people saying that Luis Enrique might go Real Madrid. Obviously, Luis Enrique, if people know about Luis Enrique's history, Luis Enrique left Real Madrid at a very young age and he signed for Barcelona. So he's very upset. Very hated in some quarters in regards to Bernabeu and Real Madrid and things like that. He's very disdain. There's some disdain around his name, some negativity around his name. Obviously, he went from Real Madrid to Barca, but he left Real Madrid at a very young age and became a Barcelona legend. So there's not in the realms of impossibility that Luis Enrique could be Real Madrid manager as well. If Pep Guardiola leaves Man City would be more of an attraction for Luis Enrique, because they'll give him the power. Garrett, so it's because of the players that we're playing 1 game a week. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely, Garrett. Would you want the lineup to be accordance with Everton's style of play? No, I think Man United should always play our game. One thing I would change, I don't think the false number 9 and Bremer as a number 9 is working. I don't. I think we're much better with Sesko up front. I would move in Bremer to the right, move out Ahmad on the bench. That's what I would do. Absolutely. Part of me feels like remove Dalot and put Mazraoui in there, but I don't think he's going to do all that. I think it's a godsend. We need to play Sesko up front. Sesko saved us the game against Fulham, and he saved us the game against West Ham. Moving Bremo out to the right, move Sesko into the striker position, drop Ahmad, right, and bring Ahmad on after about 60 minutes. That's what I would do, and Because at the end of the day, it does seem to me that we're creating a culture that, you know what, you can get away with bad performances and things like that. And I think that's wrong. I really do. I think you shouldn't be allowed to get away with bad performances and everything like that. You know what I mean? And I do believe that some of these players are getting away with it. You know, we had a bad performance against huge parts of the Fulham game. The West Ham game for me was an absolute nightmare. I guarantee the next manager, if it's not Carrick, will ask for a veto. He should. Absolutely should stay there. So some of our fans are too pleased, too easily. I agree with Ephraim there. Do you think Sesko will benefit from a senior strike partner? No, because I think he's doing well. Every time he comes on, he scores a goal. I think before Ruben Amorim left, he had 3 goals in 2 games. Now he's got 2 in 2 again. I think Sesko is going to be great. I don't think he needs anyone. However, it is nice to have another striker there, you know, to right and take the pressure off Sesko a little bit. You know, I mean, it is nice to take the pressure off Sesko a little bit. I would say that, yeah, definitely. I would like to have another striker in the club because obviously if Sesko gets injured, we ain't got nobody. It does look like Xerxes may be leaving the football club. It does look that way, guys, absolutely. Garrett, I agree with you, Sal. Benjamin said to Xerxes start. Absolutely, Garrett, he does. I mean, I would move in Bremer. I think Bremer's played well to an extent. I think Ahmad is the one who should be missing out. I do, guys. Would you blame Sir Alex Ferguson or the players for the defeats at Barcelona and 2 Champions League finals? Alex Ferguson. Rich. Alex Ferguson. Naivety. When we played Barcelona back in 2007-8, right? We played Barcelona with 2 legs, right? We missed the penalty in the Nou Camp, remember? And we won 1-0 in aggregate. Great Paul Scholes goal. That's how you beat Barcelona, right? We stifled the midfield. Against Barcelona in Rome and at Wembley, we were too open in midfield. Now, Alex Ferguson has already admitted, especially in the second game at Wembley, he would have put Ji-sung Park on Messi all game. He would have done that. Now, obviously, in the final at Wembley, we were missing Darren Fletcher because Darren Fletcher got suspended against Arsenal. Got a red card, right? And we were missing Darren Fletcher. So that was obviously a problem. But what Man United did wrong is they put Ryan Giggs in the centre. Against the likes of Busquets and Xavi and Iniesta. You know what I mean? With Messi in front. It was a big mistake. A massive, massive mistake. You know? That's what we did. We were open, way too open. And what Man United need to do, I know some people may say that, it was anti-football. Man United needed to play anti-football. Sometimes it's okay to play anti-football. We got manipulated by Pep Guardiola. And let me tell you how we got manipulated by Pep Guardiola. Pep Guardiola, before the game, said, Manchester United play the right brand of football. They play beautiful football. I have nothing but respect for Manchester United. Why was Pep saying that? Because he wants Man United to play open, beautiful, expansive football. But you can't do that against that Barcelona team. We should have at least won one of those games. At least one of those games you should have won. Right? But nonsense. Honestly, it was a nonsense performance. I'll be honest with you. And Alex Ferguson, I love Alex Ferguson. But Alex Ferguson was naive in Europe. Not just against Barcelona. Dortmund, 1997, naive. Right? I'm not going to blame him for 94, 93, 92. I'm not blaming him that because obviously there was the Champions League rules which were in place at that time where you only could play a certain amount of non-homegrown players and everything like that. But certainly against Leverkusen, certainly against Monaco, we should have won more Champions Leagues with that team. Absolutely. And if there's one Achilles heel in regards to Alex Ferguson, yes, he won 2 European Cups, right? But if there's one Achilles heel with Alex Ferguson, he didn't win enough European trophies. The team that had Tevez, Ronaldo, Rooney, Hargreaves, Ji-sung Park, PK, Ferdinand, Vidic, Evra, Gary Neville, Van der Sar, that should have won more than one Champions League title. Because if that was Real Madrid, that would have been more than one Champions League title, wouldn't it? Absolutely, Rich. Good question, Rich. Good to see you, man. LT, my biggest worry for tonight's game is the 2-week layoff we had because we might be rusty. I just hope we'll be energized and blitz them in the first 20 minutes by scoring a couple of goals. I hope so, LT. I really do hope so, my friend. Well, I said, look, we can't blame Ryan Giggs, for playing in the centre of midfield, trying to mark Xavi and Iniesta. It was suicide. It was suicide. You know, I went to the Wembley game. I was at the Wembley game, and I remember, you know, talking to my Man United fans saying, I don't like the lineup. You know, I don't like the lineup. I don't think the lineup. I think we're going to get squashed. You know, and that's what it is. There's nothing wrong in winning ugly. There's nothing wrong in winning ugly. Go out there, backs against the wall. So be it. So be it. Win 1-0. We're taking that trophy home. We'll have 4 by now. You know, yeah, that's one thing about it. Nothing but win, glory, glory, Man United, 3-1 Sal. Hope so, my friend. Hope so. Look, one thing about Man United is that, you know, Rich brings it up. And, you know, it really does irritate me because I feel like we should have had more European trophies. We really should. Look, guys, look. I'm a guy at Man United. I'm history. I'm a legacy. I talk about history of Man United. I love talking about the legacy of Man United, right? And I know that Man United from 1958, if that terrible disaster didn't happen, Man United will have more than 3 European Cups, obviously. All right? And people tend to forget that, obviously, you know. Even Real Madrid at that time dedicated one of the European Cups to Man United. You know, guys, they dedicated the European Cup to Man United because of the Munich air disaster. Man United in the late 50s, that team there, the Busby Babes, were the new Real Madrid. They would have won the Champions League in the 58, 59, 60, 61. I'm telling you right now, the team that had, the great Duncan Edwards and those players there, guys, people could laugh at Man United, but they know it. You know what I mean? They know it. They know it's true. You know, our history is beautiful. We haven't got adversities in our history. You know what I mean? And you know what? If you know, you know. Majority don't remember how you play, only the results and trophies. Absolutely, Benny. Benny, would you be rather play brilliant, expansive football and get made to look like a prat, or be pragmatic, play deep, be solid, man mark, and win the game 1-0? Because that's what Paul Scholes did in 2007, 2008. We won 1-0 in aggregate against Barcelona. Does anyone care about how we beat Barcelona in 2008? Does anyone remember how we should have lost that game? No. No one cares. Sal, was mouse on your microphone yesterday? It's a mascot. It's a mascot. A guy supports the channel. Gave it. It's a mascot. Yeah. It's a lucky charm. It's a lucky charm. It's definitely a lucky charm. Have a great day, Ephraim. Take it easy. Historians don't show a bracket saying the type of football we played exactly Tuesday. Alex Ferguson was the genius. He was the best Premier League manager of all time. Alex Ferguson's the best English football manager of all time. English football manager of all time. Alex Ferguson's not the best European manager of all time in Europe. He wasn't. There was too many times that I look at, and we had so many great teams. And yes, he built those teams. I know he built those teams, but he didn't utilize those teams properly in Europe, right? And when I look at the teams that won the Champions League, I look at certain teams that won the Champions League in the 90s, right? Dortmund, Marseille, Porto. Now, Porto won it way back in 2004, but these sort of teams won it. You know, Valencia got to a couple of finals. You know, and you look at it, it does irritate me. Mascot of Sir Jim is his curse. Specialized bigger SLD. Was about to say about that Barcelona game where Scholes scored. Sometimes it's about the results. Exactly. Look, in the first leg at the Nou Camp, we should have won the game. We missed the penalty. Ronaldo missed the penalty. In the second game, the way goals counted, remember that. There was so much nerves in that game, but we held on. And that's all that matters. Get the bloody result. Get the result. Who cares? You know, that's it. The gripes I have with Alex Ferguson for the European losses and letting go of Beckham and how he was treated, sometimes, yeah. Alex Ferguson weren't perfect. But we could argue that, you know, that Beckham left, Ronaldo came in, didn't he? Was it? Yeah. So, you know, I do believe that there were a couple of players that he treated badly. Yapstam was one of them. That he treated Yapstam very badly. Definitely, Yapstam was treated horribly. To be honest with you, LT. I just feel that if we had a proper owners, especially in the particular era, because I feel we would conquer again and also dominate Europe as well, because we have a winning aura with the Glazers ruined. They're ruining it every single year, LT. No, they ruin it every single year. But the only reason that we maintain up there is because of our history and heritage, and that's what it is at the end of the day. But this can only last so long. As we said many, many times, this can only last so long. Do you know what I mean, guys? Guys, I want to thank everyone for joining me today. Really appreciate everyone, guys. Please don't forget to smash a like on the way out, you absolute legends. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new. Guys, put your notifications on as well. I will be doing more pre-recorded material as well, guys. I'm going to upload a lot of different videos, different types of videos and things like that, guys. So keep an eye out for that on the videos, guys, because I will be doing that. More material, absolutely. Guys, Benny, look how Alex Ferguson treated Keane in the end. Yeah. Alex Ferguson wasn't perfect. No. He wasn't. Not by a long stretch. He was the best manager ever, but wasn't perfect. He had his favorites. He did have his favorites, and the problem is, right, and now let me just say one more thing. We could have went out there. There was no FFP and PSR, right? Man United had billions. We could have went out and spent as much as we wanted to spend. If we really, really wanted to, we could have went out there and spent whatever we wanted to spend. But we didn't do it. Why? You think if Man United in the 90s, right? Let's say for the 90s, for example, Man United went out and bought Alessandro Del Piero, Zinedine Zidane, and these type of players, right? Which we could have. Rivaldo. We went out and got those players. Getting Ronaldo, yes. Getting Cristiano Ronaldo, right? And then getting Ronaldinho as well. We could have, but we didn't do it. And this is why Alex Ferguson was the 10th highest spender in the Premier League in the 90s. That's what I'm talking about. 10th. And look how successful we were, Big up. See you tonight, guys, for the watch along, guys. Keep an eye out on your notifications, guys, in case I upload any videos or I'm on another channel, guys. Have a great day, evening, night, wherever you are in the world. I'm Sal Warner. This is Breaking Dawn. I shall see you for the watch along. Glory, glory, Man United. Let's get it, guys. Take it easy. Peace.